Hello and welcome back to Three Houses, Silver Snow, Ashen Wolves. We are on Chapter 19. We are facing Edelgard. It is, of course, yet another defeat boss chapter, this time only the one boss. And so it's honestly not as interesting in terms of figuring out a solution as some of the previous ones, which have had more requirements to complete. So we have like a little bit of extra opportunity, I guess, to do some training. Specifically, my goal is to get Balthus and Yuri to level 30. Getting Yuri there is not as important because he doesn't actually have anything to change into. So it's really mostly Balthus, but you know, we'll see if we can get them both there. I haven't actually tested to see with the particular configuration that I have now whether I'm going to be able to do that, but hopefully I will. There are some other side objectives that we could pursue. So there is a talisman down here, and I think all the other items that get dropped are door or chest keys, but then down here we have, let's see, there's a giant shell in here, which is +2 defense, I think. I don't know why they changed the names of all the items, the like stat boosters. Well, not all the stat boosters, but a lot of the stat boosters in this game, but they did. Anyway, the Cadmo Shield here, which is another one of the 3 defense 0 weight shields, but it negates armor, bonus damage against armor rather than bonus damage against flyers or mounted units. And then this is a silver gauntlets, which who cares? So I guess in theory I could try to send somebody down, probably just for the giant shell is the only thing I would really care about. Like the Cadmo Shield, I don't really care, because I've got the Aurora Shield, which is the flyer one, and that, like, if I ever, want Violet to have some extra defense or something, I'll just use that. But I don't know. Without thinking about it too hard, I kind of decided not to try to do that and to try to spend my actions just getting kills. My units are certainly at this point well behind the levels of the enemies, because fast completing chapters means I'm not getting a lot of kills and not keeping up with the level curve. So I guess there's two ways to look at that. One is that, I should take advantage of the opportunities that I do have, and another way is, well, it's pointless. Like, you're never going to catch up anyway, so don't worry about it. I'm not really sure which is the right way to think about it. Battery. And maybe +2 defense is better than a level on, whatever character, if I even get a level. But it would require multiple actions to get over there. In any case, what we are going to do is it's kind of fun, though, in that we're going to actually use Manuela for warp again. Petra is here just for stride. We've got the Dancer Battalion now, and Ferdinand has just barely gotten to B authority, or, well, he probably got there a while ago and I switched what he was focusing on or something. But in any case, he can use the Opera Company volunteers, so that's fun. And other than that, we actually are not deploying Sethith this time, because I want to use Happy for warp. Actually, I guess I could have deployed him instead of Flayn. I was originally planning to have Flayn use a rescue to deal with Edelgard, to help deal with Edelgard, and then at some point I realized, wait a minute, I have like a 4-way dance and a regular dance and like 2 warps, and I definitely don't need rescue on top of all that. But I didn't switch her out, and that's probably fine. She makes like 1 attack. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so the only other thing I'll mention is, so I have 3 stat boosters on Byleth that are all potentially meant to improve the reliability. Although I think actually I calculated that the energy drop really probably doesn't matter. But the Seraph Rope, so Edelgard does a lot of damage. 86 attack. That's pretty high. Byleth cannot take that much damage, but she could if I gave her both that Seraph Robe and the Giant Shell. Specifically, right now she's got what is it? 80. Yeah, 80 HP plus defense. So if we give her giant shell and Seraph Robe, she goes up to 87 and gets hit for 86 and goes down to 1 HP. The thing is that Edelgard is only going to have 12% chance to hit her anyway, so I'm like, maybe I'll just save my stat boosters. So that's there just kind of for demonstration purposes, but I decided ultimately that the ability to avoid getting hit by a 12% attack is not important enough to be worth using those for now, when I want at some point to be able to be greedy and give them to like Yuri or Balthus or something. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, probably I'll end up giving them to Byleth anyway, for, you know, because it'll turn out that I need to, but I've decided that in this case I don't quite need to, so I'm not going to. Anyway, with that having been said, let us begin.
Into the path. Defeating them all will turn the tide of war instantly.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Victory.
The throne room is tightly locked.
Is not what you will be accomplishing today, I'm sorry to say. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is have Balthus come up and smack this priest? Bishop? Whatever. Oh, and they activate Miracle and Balthus dies. Okay, cool. Fun stuff. Alright, let's do a different thing. Although I am realizing, well, I guess whatever Flame attacks we can just do now. Alternatively, I think Balthus can kill this guy with Fierce Iron Fist and the Ajra Mushti. So let's go for that. Because what I want to do is open up a lane for Petra to stride. I've got the fetters on Balthus so that I can move him around to set up my four-way dance with Ferdinand.
I will prevail. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm in.
Not actually striding for him. Alright, next up. Let's see if you can get a kill. Yep.
Someone's fired up.
And then we're gonna have Byleth maybe kill this guy, maybe not. Okay, yes. But if she didn't, it would be a kill for somebody else, which would have also been fine. And now we have 3 supports lined up for Constance to come up and kill this guy with exact damage. And let's do that with this accuracy ring. This guy's got what's it called? Keen intuition, so I want to attack. I don't want to attack him from range. Let me get the door key. So now what we could do, right, is to get up here, is we could use the door key, kill this guy, and then like go around. But instead, I'm just gonna not even open this door, and I'm just gonna warp across the wall, because that seems more fun. Right, so now we are ready to do our four-way dance. And as long as I'm doing that, I have to complain about something with the UI. So if you look at the way that battalions work in terms of what their area of effect is, So, like, for example, Flane's battalion here shows a blue tile that indicates Flane's position, and then the tiles of the target in front, right? It hits an adjacent target and the target behind it. Or this one that Happy has, you know, it hits at the target in front and then the two, you know, to the left and to the right. Let me see if somebody has like a, I mean, that's, I don't think I have any. Oh, Resonant Lightning. Oh, you know what? Resonant Lightning has a red icon. Maybe that's what the difference is. Nope, that's a blue icon. So Resonant Lightning has a red icon. It has 1 to 2 range, and what it is showing is that you hit some target, and then that AoE is around that target. So it's not showing your position here. It's showing the position of the target rather than the user. So yeah, you had that thing. So I guess my complaint here is like this shows the position of this one also shows the position of the target rather than the user, even though it's 1 range. So like if you interpreted this diagram the same way that you interpret like this diagram, then it would suggest that this works like a raisin dance from Tellius, where it goes all around you, because you know you target somebody in front of you, and then like you get to the side, to each of your sides and behind you as well. But the way it actually works is it targets the 4 spots around the person that you're targeting, and I don't understand like why it's shown that way. Like really, you never dance for that like 4th spot around the person anyway. So like, why doesn't it just show like a Tetris T shape in a way that's consistent with like this, right? So instead of 1, 2, it would be, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. I don't know. Hopefully that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm realizing that Resonant Lightning also breaks that pattern, but it's also in like a ranged attack. So like maybe that's the reason, because you'd have to try to show like, well, the blue dot could be in any number of different places, but that doesn't apply to this one. So I don't know. I guess also like this one, Battleground Cafe, this one shows it the way that I mean, it's got a bigger range, right? But if you just take out the outer ring of squares, then you've got that dance battalion actually does. So like that just seems like almost like a bug to me. Anyway, we're gonna continue with the chapter now, but I just had to like point that out because it annoyed me when I realized. So I want to get some more kills for Yuri and for Balthus. Yuri will definitely be best equipped to kill this enemy, so let's just do that. And we got him that level.
A hard life sharpens.
No strength. No speed. He's really not actually that fast at all, and it's pretty annoying, but at least he's got Hunter's Volley. Alright, so now I believe Balthus doesn't actually kill here with Pierce Iron Fist. Unfortunately, he's just short. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Flame to help him out. At least this guy. Bang. And just use this. Oh, hello. Oh, you put him in the range of his personal skill. The big brain plays I didn't realize I was making. Now he will be able to kill that guy with Fierce Iron Fist. Perfect. Oh wait, no, I don't want to dance there because I need to work from there. I'm just so used to having the fetters on Linhardt, I almost assumed that I still did. Okay, let's go. Oh wait, no, Yuri's still got the experience gen. Oh, but you're totally gonna level anyway. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about it then. Iron Gauntlets don't do it, but that does. Boom. Balthus levels.
My arms
What is that
can't
level?
much
I mean, you
bigger.
got speed, I guess, but like, does it even matter at this
So
point?
steadfast.
What is that level? That's just terrible. Okay. Well, in any case, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to
There's no stopping me.
have Manuela warp Constance across the wall.
I've still got. It's all.
Didn't equip bolting. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Don't need the Kadusha staff equipped. And then we're going to Byleth across as well. Now, there is some chance that Byleth will secure the kill here herself. What's she doing? Oh, Creator Sword. Right. Yeah, we need the Thunderbrand. So yeah, there is some chance that Byleth will kill by herself. It's not likely, but if she crits like 3 times, I think it is. Yeah, because if I crit twice, I do an extra 36. Oh wait, yeah. 9 times 4, 36 damage. So it would knock her down to 4 HP. So I would need 1 more crit than that. So it's not at all likely. If I were to have used the energy drop, right, then I would be doing an extra 8 damage, knock her down to 32. In which case 2 crits would be enough to kill. But given that we would need 3 crits, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's so unlikely that I'm not gonna bother to like attack with Constance and then rewind in order to like when Byleth inevitably doesn't crit 3 times. I mean, like, because I could probably take a kill with Constance on like, I don't know, maybe this guy, yeah, right. But I mean, I guess since I know that I can do that, what the heck? Have Percy ring equipped. I mean, like I said, it's not. I'm gonna have to rewind this. I didn't know it, but I guess as long as the possibility exists, I might as well take advantage of it.
Professor, I said, but I will never give up. Even if my eye will smash that.
Okay. There's 1 crit.
Predictable.
Nope. Okay. Oh, is that my last action? Am I gonna have to like sit through? Well, you know what? Depending on the order in which Edelgard attacks, I might just be able to, like, let her attack into me anyway
I
on
must
enemy
confess,
phase.
I don't mean to belittle yours. Inform the troops.
Let's see. I mean, probably they're gonna attack with somebody else first, but maybe not. Yeah, okay. Oh, hello. Did she use a combat art? Is her yeah, she used Raging Storm, I guess? That shouldn't have boosted her hit rate all the way to 30 some odd though. I guess I don't have Darting Blow active, and so that also affects my avoid somewhat, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure why.
Professor, but I will.
Watch and learn.
Oh wow. Almost did get the kill there. How did she end up with 7 HP? I saw that adjutant follow up, but presumably Cyril does no damage. Huh. That is an interesting puzzle. How did you end up with 7 HP? Oh, if I procced Crest of Flames, and I did a little bit extra damage. Occasionally, rarely raises might. Yeah. So like 3 extra might on it, 33% might increase. I could see that. Being how much it does. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's all I got. All right. Time for our backup boss killer to come in. It's basically like, you know, the Constance and Violet show here in the late game.
What use are words? We are both set on our path.
How predictable. But so be it.
I will now show you my true
Now
power
show
by
you my
dying.
True power.
Oh, come on, Constance. Just get magic at least.
It looks as though my path will end here. My teacher, claim your victory. Strike me down. You must. Even now, across this land, people are killing each other. If you do not act now, this conflict will go on forever. Your path lies across my grave. It is time for you to find the courage to walk it. If I must fall, let it be by your hand.
This definitely does make a lot more sense in this context than in Verdant Wind.
I wanted to walk with you.
That's harsh. She didn't get to finish talking. Balthus is the MVP, of course. I guess that makes sense. Alright. There may be news story stuff at this point. So I guess I'll check that out.
At last, it is over. Now we must find Rhea.
Professor, brother, I have a letter. The Imperial General asked me to deliver this to my instructor.
Who is it from? Hurry up, Professor.
Oh, this is
read it at once.
the Hubert thing.
It is from Hubert. Though he has left this world, he's reaching out through that letter.
Yeah.
If you are reading this letter, that means I have perished. As Her Majesty would never surrender to another, I can only assume she has fallen as well. It greatly pains me to think of this coming to pass. That said, as the survivors, I must ask you to settle certain affairs in our stead.
You know, this part makes less sense in this route, because in the other routes, I guess I just mean Verdant Wind, because it doesn't come up in Azure Moon. But in Verdant Wind, like, they know that they're being attacked, right? But, like, supposedly the way that we took Enbar in this route is we snuck our troops in and then made a surprise attack, which means Hubert wouldn't have had time, presumably, or like, this letter is written as a way of, like, backstopping against, like, losing the war, right? But in Verdant Wind, like, he had reason to think, like, oh, we're starting to lose the war now. Oh, we're losing the war now. Like, we're being pushed back. That's not what happened in this route. Like, they're, for the most part, like, they were winning. And then we just did this sneaky thing, which also, incidentally, doesn't really make any sense. Like, the idea that you could sneak something that resembles an army, like, unnoticed into your enemy's capital is pretty ridiculous. But putting that aside, like, assuming you did it, then your enemy would have no reason to be making preparations for, like, what if we just suddenly lose the war and I'm dead and Edelgard's dead? Like, oh no, I better write a letter about that. Like, why would he do that? Like, why would he have any reason to think that this was a possibility, or at least an imminent one? So, yeah, okay.
You must destroy the threat that slithers in the dark. I am sure you must recall Monica and Tomas. Their allies yet live. They hold deep resentment against the children of the goddess and the people of the world. And they are biding their time until they can exact revenge. If left to their own devices, it is certain they will eventually bring unimaginable calamity and suffering to the world. I detected their sorcery when you took Fort Mercius. I have deduced the location of their stronghold, Shambhala. You will find its whereabouts enclosed. There is no question that they are the enemies of everyone in Fodlan. Do not allow yourselves to forget that. Lastly, while I cannot say she is in good health, the Archbishop resides in a secret chamber in the Imperial Palace. I have shared the location of the entrance to that secret chamber with the person to whom I have entrusted this letter. I believe that Her Majesty will be victorious. Even still, I must plan for her defeat as well. If you wish to lead this world, I check such as your obligation as the victors.
What Hubert has written here, I cannot...
Okay, so here's the other thing that's weird about this. In Verdant Wind, when you're fighting against them not as like an avatar of the church, you are basically saying, you know, we are opposing your takeover of Fodlan, but you're not like specifically opposing the like anti-church aspect of Edelgard's agenda. I mean, you presumably are, but that's not like the point. But here, it is the point. And so the idea that Edelgard would be like, okay, I'm gonna, well, and Hubert, you know, by extension, would be like, I'm gonna like tear down the church. That's what I'm really all about. And then, oh, well, you know, okay, you guys won, so I guess we'll tell you how to beat these other people that also oppose the church. Like, how does that make any sense? I mean, I know that she, like, isn't in favor of the Agarthans, but, like, she chose to work with them to take down the church, and now she's like, well, I'll, you know, throw them under the bus, you know, of the church, so to speak. Like, if she was okay with doing that, then why wasn't she okay with doing that from the outset? Like, why didn't she make the Agarthans her enemy rather than the church? It just doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
No. I know it must be true. And if that is the case, then all else makes sense now. I must speak with Rhea. It seems our battle is not over just yet. Those who slither in the dark. We must kill every last one of them.
Kill every last one of them!
And we'll never again know peace.
They are allies of Monica and Tomas, correct? The ones who were after my blood. And also the ones who destroyed Fort Mercius with that mysterious light.
We shall discuss this more after we have rescued Rhea.
You have come to save me. Is this a dream? I have longed to see you again. All this time. Is it truly you?
So, I assume this is going to be roughly similar to Verdant Wind.
Flame, you are here as well. Thank you for supporting the Professor. And for rescuing me.
Rhea, I am overjoyed that you are unharmed. I could not stand losing another of our kind.
Yes. I am reminded of the past, of reuniting in Inbar.
It is truly nostalgic. I would love nothing more than to lose ourselves in memories of the old days, but I must tell you something, Rhea. We have received incredible news, albeit from the Empire. They have told us the identity of our enemy, those who slither in the dark. It is time for us to stop hiding the truth about the goddess, the progenitor god, the truth about us. It is time for us to tell the people everything.
Well, this is
Those who
different.
slither in the dark.
We are told they despise the children of the goddess, as well as those who live above ground. They are planning something horrible.
Please, tell the professor everything about these vile people. There must be things that only you know.
I understand. Dear child, I will now tell you all that I know. It is true that there is a group of people who have slithered in the darkness and threatened the peace of Fodlan since ancient times. I am sure you have heard the stories of a man named Nemesis.
Nemesis, the king of liberation. The man who received the sword of the creator from the goddess and became a hero. However,
Nemesis was originally the leader of a group of bandits. He plundered the holy tomb and stole the remains of the progenitor god. When Nemesis appeared in Xanadu some time later, he already wielded the sword of the creator. The legend that the goddess gifted him the sword so that he could fight the wicked gods is false. That story was created after the fact. I do not know how Nemesis obtained the sword, or why he appeared in Xanadu, but he used that sword to massacre the people there, the children of the progenitor god. From their corpses he gained even more power, and brought war to Fodlan. A mere bandit like Nemesis would not have been capable of anything so monstrous on his own.
it was surmised that someone was collaborating with Nemesis, and there was a massive investigation to uncover who it was. But the truth was never discovered. I am now certain that his accomplices were those who slither in the dark. And this time, they have utilized the Imperial Army to send Fodlan back into the flames of war.
So, Edelgard has made a temporary alliance with them in order to achieve her own aims. Professor, we must journey to Shambhala and stop them.
You must not allow Fodlan's bloody history, the Red Canyon tragedy, to repeat itself.
If anything, that conversation felt shorter than the one in Verdant Wind, but maybe I'm misremembering. But she definitely didn't tell us, like, everything that she knew. She didn't even tell Byleth, like, oh, by the way, you know, you're whatever.
Part 2. Silver Snow. Blue Sea Moon.
Well, presumably...
The city without light.
Now we're going to...
Following Edelgard's defeat and Rhea's rescue, the Resistance Army discovers the existence of another adversary, a group operating behind the scenes within the Empire. To prevent disaster from befalling Fodlan, the Resistance Army heads for Shambhala, the enemy's stronghold.
I was gonna say, presumably we're gonna get into some of that. But maybe not, actually. Maybe that doesn't happen until the end of the game? I don't know. Birthday? Okay, well, we're not going to do that right now, obviously. I guess that's the end of the story stuff. It's weird that, like, I don't know. She's like, I'm going to tell you everything, and then she doesn't really tell you very much at all. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I already know from having like played the other routes and all that, but I feel like there's a lot more that if you were playing through this the first time that you would want to know and would feel like, yeah, I didn't really get to hear all the stuff. Anyway, but there was another thing that I wanted to say about this chapter, which is that I have to admit I didn't know whether they would do the whole like hegemon Edelgard thing this time. Well, at some point, obviously, I found out, but when I was first coming into this, I didn't know if that was exclusive to Blue Lions or not. I guess it is, which is kind of disappointing, to be honest, because like that chapter was like, you know, pretty trivial to complete as it was, but the hegemon Edelgard version like is not. You know, like you can't really, I don't know, maybe you can one turn it, maybe people who have like really optimized their play know how to one turn that chapter, but like it's a, you know, it's a multi-stage boss and all that. Although I will say that the long range attack thing that it has is pretty obnoxious, but still, like, I think it would, you know, I'm on the one hand, I'm trying to like, you know, complete the chapters quickly because I enjoy like figuring out how to do that. On the other hand, I would not mind having some of the chapters be like a little bit more demanding from that perspective. Although it is also the case that the enemy, you know, stat values are, you know, insane at this point in the game. And so maybe it's just as well that I don't have to deal with the vast majority of them. Because if I actually had to like fight through all those enemies, a lot of my units are pretty ill-equipped to do so. Maybe I'll have to do that in Shambhala, though. My recollection is that chapter was not, like, particularly easy to just, like, you know, boss kill quickly or something like that. But I guess we'll find out. In any case, that will do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I will be back next time with Chapter 20, in which we do go into Shambhala, presumably. It did say the city without light. That seems pretty telling. So, until then.